Okay, good morning. We are on Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph, talking about different things that we learned from Midvar Sheker Tirchak. So Gemara says, Minayin leTalmud sheyoshev lifnei Rabbo v'roas chos la'ani v'chov la'ashir. Minayin shelo yishtok. You're sitting in front of your Rebbe, so you might think that you shouldn't say anything, even though you think your Rebbe is about to paskin the wrong thing in a court case. How do you know you shouldn't be quiet? Talmud lomar Midvar Sheker Tirchak, because it says you should stay away from Sheker. Minayin, taking it one step further, Latamid Shiroras Rabba Shatoa Bedin Shelo Yomar. So that was before the verdict. But what about maybe after the verdict? Maybe you see your Rebbe making a mistake, and now you want to go ahead and you want to get credit. So what do you say? I'm going to wait for him to give the din. Then I'm going to go to him and I'm going to explain to him everything that he cheshbon wrong and what he did wrong to my Rebbe. And then he's going to go ahead and they're going to say, I need to correct myself. Thank you to my esteemed student, Rabbi, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I'm going to get famous because of it. You shouldn't do that either because of Midvar Sheker Tirchak. What about the following case? Interesting case. You know that I would never lie, even if somebody gave me $100. But what's the problem? So your Rebbe says to you, well, I have $1 or a mana by somebody else. The problem is I only have one aid, and I really need two aids. Now you know, my Talmud, my dear Talmud, that I would never lie. So what do you do? So what am I asking you? I'm the Rebbe, and I'm asking you, do me a favor. You know that I would never lie. You know that I have $100 by somebody else, or a mana by somebody else. You know that I would never lie even if somebody gave me $100. I want you to do me a favor and just go ahead and join the one aid that I have, and I'll get my money, which I'm owed anyway. I just happen to have only one aid, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing me a favor. Says the Gemara, you can't do that, even though you have no doubt that your Rebbe's not lying, that the guy actually owes him a money. At the end of the day, since you did not go ahead and see the loan, you cannot testify that you saw it. Hi, Midvar Sheker Tirchak Nafka. Yeah, the Rebbe's asking you to lie. Hi, Midvar Sheker Tirchak Nafka. What do we need Midvar Sheker Tirchak for? Havadai Shikure Kameshaker V'Rachmana Amar Lotan Ebrecha Sheker. It says clearly you can't be an 8 sheker. So you don't even need to tell me Midvar Sheker Tirchak. We learned this from. You can't be an 8 sheker. You learn that at the end of the day you can't testify for something that you didn't see. So Gemara says you're right. In that case where he wants you to testify about something that you didn't see, that's Lo Tanei Berechai Sheker. What's the case where Midvar Sheker Tirchak, where you're not actually doing anything wrong, quote unquote, but you still have to stay away from Midvar Sheker Tirchak? Ela Kagon Damerlei. He says the following. You're right. I can't ask you, even though you know and I know that I'm owed the money, I can't ask you to go ahead and testify that I'm owed the money because you didn't see it. What I want you to do, I want you to go ahead and I want you to do the following. I have one witness. I don't want you to lie, but I want you to come with that other guy, and at least now 2 of you will come to court. You're not going to testify. I'm not going to go so far to say, please testify that you saw that he borrowed $100 from me. That I'm not going to do. But come to court, and when he sees that I have 2 eidim, he's going to admit without the eidim even having to testify. He'll admit, he'll be nervous, he'll see that I'm about to bring 2 eidim to go ahead. So you're pretending to know information. You're never going to say anything out of your mouth, but you're going to stand there to intimidate him so that he goes in. So again, one can argue, one can see now that one might argue that, okay, that's not really sheker, it's not such a problem. Says Gemara, it sniffs, it smells of something a little bit fishy. Following case. These are all interesting cases. What happens over here? Now, you owe me a money. Shelo Yomar, what am I going to do? Now, you owe me a money, but you also owe me karka. You owe me a money, and you also owe me some other money. So now what do we know? We know that in general, when I claim that you owe me money, so you don't have to swear. If you're kofar everything, you don't pay me. And if you admit that you owe me, then you pay me. But if you are kofar in part of it, if you're modeh b'mixas, then you have to take a shvua. There's also something called a shvua's gilgul shvua. That means in general, by karka, we don't swear. In general, when you claim that you don't owe anything to me, that I claim you owe me $100 and you claim I owe you nothing, you don't have to pay anything. You just don't swear. But Gilgul Shvua says that if you're swearing anyway about something else, we roll the other Shvua that we wouldn't have been able to impose on you otherwise, we roll that into this Shvua. So what do I have? I have 2 different loans with you, let's say. Or I have a loan with you and you also bought karka from me. So what am I going to do? I know that you owe me a money. And I'm a yashar guy, you owe me a money. The problem is you're not paying me the money. Fine, if I ask you for the money, what are you going to do? Chances are you'll give me the money. But you also owe me karka. But I can't make you swear about the karka because we don't swear on karka. So what am I going to do? I'm going to claim that you owe me $200. You only owe me $100. And I don't have any intention of collecting the $200 from you. So what do I know is going to happen? I'm going to claim You owe me $200. You're going to claim I only owe you $100, which I know is true. Then what are you going to say? The Beis Din is going to say, Modeh b'mixas, you have to swear. You're going to swear, then Beis Din is going to say, and then I'm going to say, oh, wait, he's swearing? Oh, wait, so let him swear about my karka as well. Because once he's swearing about this loan, let him swear about the karka. That's my plan. So where do we know you can't do that? Shelo yomar ata'enu b'masayim kedei sheyoda li b'maneh v'yischayev le'shua ve'agalgel alav shua mimakom acher Talmud lomar midvar sheker tirchak. Am I doing anything wrong? These are the classic cases where we can taina, right? Where plenty of people, this is where like you draw that line, they're like the gray line, the gray area. This is like where the CRA gets involved. So the CRA, midvar sheker tirchak. If everybody held a midvar sheker tirchak, the CRA would have a lot more money. But clearly we don't all hold a midvar sheker tirchak. So over here you have that gray area where theoretically I'm not planning on robbing you, I'm just planning on getting my money that rightfully belongs to me back. Midvar sheker tirchak, I can't use this tactic that's a little bit shady. Says Gemara similarly, Minayin lenashe bechaver amane v'tanu masayim shelo yomar achaprenu bebeizin ve'ode lechutz lebeizin kedei shelo eschayev lo shua v'lo yigalgal ay shua mimakom acher. Now what happens if you're the other guy? Now the other guy's doing something wrong. That means right now you want me to take a shua. It means I know that I owe you $100, and I know that you're tining maybe something. You're not the nicest guy in the world. So let's assume, or I just don't want to take a shua. So I'm planning on paying you back, whatever the case is. I owe you $100. Now it's the other way. You want to go ahead and you're going to claim that I owe you $200, and I'm nervous that you're going to make me take a shvua about something else, maybe something that I don't even owe you, but I don't want to take shvua. So what am I going to do? I know that I owe you $100. You're claiming I owe you $200 because I know that you have a plan now to make me take a gilul shvua. So what do? I'm going to pay you the $100, but I'm going to deny owing you anything. Because if I admit to the $100, then I'm going to have to pay you the $100, and then you might make me take a shvua about something else. So what am I going to do? I'm going to deny owing you anything, and outside of Beis Din, I'll go ahead and I'll pay you the $100. That seems like okay, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's trying to pull a shtick on me. Even then, I don't have a right to pull a shtick back. Even though you're pulling a shtick and claiming that I owe you $200 when I know and you know that I only owe you $100, since you're pulling the shtick doesn't give me the right to pull the shtick also. Two wrongs don't make a right. And therefore, I have to go along, I have to claim that I only owe you $100, which is what I do. I pay the $100, and if you're going to be Megalgal me Yeshua for something else, so then that's my thing that I'm going to have to deal with afterwards. Says the Gemara, I'll be meko for it. Similarly, you have three people who between the three of them are owed $100. You owe, or I owe the three of you $100. Now the problem is there's no witnesses. But you know, and you guys all three know, and you guys are yashar, and you know that I owe you $100 from the three of you. I owe $33 to each of you. So what happens over here? Now, the three of you are not going to be able to collect your $100 between the three of you because you don't have any witnesses. But you're rightfully owed $100. So you might think, you might tie it to yourself, what can you do? Well, one of you will be the Baldin who will come and say, Rabbi, you owe me $100. And two of you will be the Edim. Now, at the end of the day, you are going to get the $100 that you're rightfully owed. The problem is you're doing it in a gray, shady way because you really weren't Edim to the witness. Yes, it'll end up at the end of the day, and as in many of these cases, the bottom line will become the bottom line, and the rightful money of $100 will go to the three of you. Problem is you're getting there in a shady way because you're claiming that the two of you saw me lend money to him $100. Yes, at the end of the day, he's going to take the $100 and split it up between the three of you. And yes, the $100, which rightfully belongs to the three of you, between the three of you, will go to you. But since you're doing it in a shady way where the two of you are not really Edim to the loan, but you're claiming to be Edim to the loan, that's not allowed. Besides for the vested interest. Over here, forget about it. Let's assume, again, because vested interest, we're worried that they're lying. Let's assume that we know, again, this is an Isser on you, midvar sheker tirchak. It's not an Isser on Beis Din. So even though you have vested interest, yes, but then even if you know that you're telling the truth, and even though you know that you rightfully deserve $33 $1/3, at the end of the day, you still don't have a right to go ahead and pull the shtick. So now this is a different case. Now you have two Bali Din, and one of them comes to court. He's not so rich, he's poor, so he comes with all these rags, and the other one comes with a beautiful fancy garment which is worth $100. Sha'omer lo, interestingly, what do we say? We say to the guy who's wearing the fancy clothing, Lavush kemoso or hoibishu kemoscha. Either put on rags or buy the guy an Armani suit that you're wearing. Why do we do that? Because at the end of the day, Rashi says we're worried about two things. First of all, if one guy's fancily dressed and the other guy's not, we're worried that the Beis Din, the judges are going to assume that the wealthy guy must be telling the truth. The guy in the rags, he's a nebuch. He's probably just suing because he wants to make some money. The second thing we're worried about is that the guy in the rags is going to be intimidated when he sees the guy in the suit. He's going to be intimidated. He's not going to testify. I happen to think that Rashi is really saying one and the same. What does it mean the guy in the rags is going to be intimidated? What are we nervous about? What's he intimidated by? So I think what the pshat is that he's intimidated because he knows that Beis Din, when they look at the guy in the riches and in the nice suit, they're going to go in and pass him. So it's really one and the same. You understand what I'm saying? It's one and the same. That if you have a beautiful suit, you have to go ahead and either buy him a nice suit, or you have to go ahead and you have to put on rags, because we're worried that he's going to be intimidated because he knows what we all know, that Beis Din is going to have a bias towards you because you look like the rich guy and he looks like the Nebuch guy.
Wasn't it Rosh already made? We saw them. They saw them, right?
Yeah, okay.
The Beis Din secretary saw them. But
Maybe, okay. It could be a logistic thing where they didn't actually see him, or just the first day, and then they'll forget about it. Like once he comes in with royalty, the next day. You have to make sure that they're both dressed the same. Like the case of Rava Barafuna, Amar Lahu, Shlufu Puz Mukaichu V'chotzu. One guy was wearing Uggs, and he said, you can't wear the Uggs, either buy the other guy a pair of Uggs too, or take off the Uggs, because you have an unfair advantage. People look at your Uggs and they assume that you're wealthy. This is the famous idea we've heard before, that one guy can't start talking in court, he can't start giving his side of the story before the other guy comes. And also, the first one was saying that the dayan, the judge, cannot listen to one side versus the other before the other guy gets there, and he has a chance to defend himself. And the second thing is just adding that there's an isser on the baldin himself to start speaking. There's an isser to speak and an isser for the judge to listen. Rav Kahana Masnila, he learned it from a different pasuk. Lo tisa shem ashav, lo tisa lo tasu. You can't listen and you can't go ahead and present. The same idea that the baldin, one baldin cannot speak before the other baldin comes. Then it says Vasher lo tov asa b'toch hamav. He did something not good amongst his nation. Rav Amar Zeha ba b'harsha, u'Shmuel Amar Zeha lokeach sada sheish aleh asikin. What's considered to be not good? Similar to midvar sheker tirchak. Two cases. What's harsha? Harsha is a power of attorney. Rashi explains that if you have two people that are arguing about something, and we all see this naturally, if two people are arguing about something, there's a greater chance that if they deal with it themselves, that one of them will be willing to do a pshara, or both of them will be willing to compromise with the other ones. Once you bring in a hotshot lawyer, you bring in a power of attorney, he's got no emotions, he's got nothing involved in the case, he just wants to make as much money as possible. He's going to, under no circumstance, he's going to tell his client, under no circumstance should you settle. Under no circumstance should you go ahead and settle. So at the end of the day, it says that it's inappropriate to have a power of attorney. Now, I think the Rishonim explained that there's not talking about where the Metzius is that you can't go to court. If you can't go to court, if you're far away, or if there's a case where I guess maybe rightfully somebody's trying to rip you off, then maybe it would be okay to have a power of attorney. But in a case where there was a misunderstanding, or both sides are quote unquote wrong or right, so in that case, if possible, you should work it out amongst the parties themselves, because if you bring in a third party for either side, they're not going to be as compassionate and as willing to compromise as if the two parties work it out themselves. That's the case of mediation. That's the case of Haba Barasha. It's not really mediation. Mediation is when both of the parties are mediating with each other. That's okay. This time about when one party brings in a third party, a power of attorney. Mediation is a good thing. Power of attorney, a lawyer, is a bad thing. Ushmuel Amar, this is somebody who takes a sada sheisha lev asikin. That means you have a sada, and there's different people who are claiming that sada actually belongs to them. So I should not come along and buy that sada and say, oh, I'm Mr. Rich, and I'm not worried, I'm going to have a chazaka, and I'm going to go ahead, and because of my strength and because of my wealth, I'm going to scare away all the people. If I know that the sada definitely belongs to you, and everybody else is just making problems, then I can buy it. But if I'm not sure if the sada even belongs to you, and these people have good tainas, I can't just assume that I'm going to use my wealth and my power to buy the sada from you and then scare all the other people away. I should let them work it out with you first, because Eina Chanami, they might have a good taina, and they might have a good claim on the sada. That's the Gemara over there. We said in the Gemara, we're talking about a Shvuas Ha'edus. And just to review, Shvuas Ha'edus is that a person was asked to testify in a certain case, that he knows information about a case, and he swears that he didn't know any information, and then it comes up that he actually knew information. Shvuas Ha'edus says that if he was lying, he needs to bring a korban ola v'yored. So in the Mishnah, we gave different examples of people that are going to be part of the Shvuas Ha'edus. It needs to be somebody that's an anashim and not a nashim. Just like a person who can testify, it needs to be a man, and it also needs to be somebody that's kosher leidus. It can't be somebody that's related. And then it says, "Ve'eino nohegas ela beru'uyin lahayid." And this testimony and this shuas edus only applies to somebody who's roy lahayid. What does that mean? What are you trying to exclude? You already excluded people that are pasul, people that are related, people that are women. What are you excluding by saying, and only somebody that's roy lahayid? So there must be somebody who's really kosher and a man and not a karov, and yet this is going to be excluded from shuas ha'edus and from testifying. Who's that? Says the Gemara, melech, a king. Says the Gemara, lafuke mayim Rav Papa lafuke melech. Even though he's kosher, even though he's not related, even though he's on an ashim, he can't go ahead and testify in court. He can't go ahead and take the shuas ha'edus because, as Rashi explains, it's beneath his dignity, and that's a deoraisa. It says som tasim alecha melech. You have to go ahead and put a melech on you. You have to put a melech that's going to have fear. And once he starts testifying in court, he becomes like secondary to the judges, and therefore people are not going to fear him. For Avacha bar Yaakov amar lafuche misachek bekuvya. This excludes a person that gambles, even though, quote unquote, officially he's a man and he's not related. And he's quote unquote kosher, midirabanan, a person that gambles is pasal. Why is a person who gambles pasal? So the Gemara there gives two reasons. Either because we assume that he's stealing, because when you gamble, the guy who you're taking the money from doesn't actually want to give you the money, or because you're not osek b'yeshuvo shalom, you're not involved in settling the world, and that's assuming, again, that you're involved 100% in gambling, you don't have a job. We're assuming that you're not going to be compassionate to other people, you don't know the halachas, etc. So, the one who says that a mitzachei b'kuvya who's only usher midirabanan to testify, and nevertheless we're going to throw him out of the parsha, according to that mandam, we're going to throw him out of the parsha shuas ha'edus, for sure a melech, who's midoraisa, going to be a problem to testify, for sure we're going to throw him out of the parsha. But uman damar melech, the one who says that a melech is not in the parsha of testimony and of shuas ha'edus, avam mitzachei b'kuvya midiraisa mechza chazi rabbanan hu debaslua. One can say that it's dafka melech, but since the rabbis and only the rabbis are the ones who made a mitzachei b'kuvya pasul, even though in general they can't testify, if in fact they swear that they don't know testimony, in Achanami, they will be in the parsha of Shuas Ha'edus, and they will have to bring a korban o levi yored. Zog the Gemara. And I want to say this outside because if not, we're going to get lost. So let's just say this outside and follow along carefully. We said that there was a machlokes in the Gemara. We said that there's two types of Shuas Ha'edus. There's a Shuas Ha'edus, again, where you're asked to testify in a case, or I'm asked to testify in a case, and I swear that I don't know any information about the case. I'm found to be lying. I have to bring a korban olav yored. There's two possibilities. There's one called mipi atzmo and mipi acherim. Mipi atzmo means that I come along and I say, I swear that I do not know any information concerning this case. Came out of my own mouth. Or it could be, you come to me and say, Rabbi, swear to me that you don't know any information about this case, and I say amen. Either I say it out of my own mouth or I say amen to you. That's considered to be mipi atzmo. What's mipi acherim? It's when you say to me, Rabbi, swear to me that you don't know any information about this case. I don't say amen, which is as if I said, I swear I don't know any information about this case. I said, I don't know any information about this case. So I sort of like didn't take that extra shvua, but I second what you said when you said, swear to me that I don't know any information about the case. That's considered to be mipi acherim. That's also going to be in the category of shvua. It's just a different category. What's the difference? So over here, by shvuas ha'edus, the Torah clearly tells us that the Torah tells us, "V'nefesh kitecheta, v'shama kol Allah." I hear a voice of a German. I hear you coming along and asking me to testify. What's that? That's mipi acherim. And what do? V'hu eid o ra'o yadan. I really knew testimony, but I rejected and I pretended to not know. Im lo yagiv v'nasav no. So the pasuk clearly here, and as you see clearly in the psukim over there, the pasuk is talking about, there's four possible things here. There's mipi atzmo and mipi acherim. Those are two possibilities, one of the two. And then there's in front of Beis Din or outside of Beis Din. Now, it's more machmer if you say that, for sure, when somebody says something with his own mouth, I swear, for sure that's going to be a swear. It's more of a chiddush to say that mipi acherim is going to be considered a swear as well. When you say to me, swear to me that you don't know anything, and I say, I don't know anything, the fact that that's considered to be a swear also, mipi acherim, that's more of a chiddush. So too, the fact that I swear mipi atzmo in Beis Din, that's not such a chiddush. If I take a shvua in Beis Din with my own mouth, that's not such a chiddush that if I'm lying, I'm going to have to bring a korban olav yored. The fact that I take a shvua outside of Beis Din, and I say outside of Beis Din, I swear that I don't know anything about that case, that's more of a chiddush that I would be chayav in that case. So you have mipi atzmo versus mipi acherim. You have inside Beis Din versus outside Beis Din. The most machmer, or the most common, the one that I would understand the most that you'd be chayav for would be mipi atzmo in Beis Din, and the one that I would think that you would be least chayav for would be mipi acherim outside of Beis Din. It happens to be that in the case of the Torah, when the Torah describes the Shvuas Ha'edus, again, it talks about v'shama kol Allah. You hear from another person. What's that? Mipi acherim. And it's clear from the Torah there that it's talking about outside of Beis Din. So you have the most extreme case, which the Torah is still telling you is puzzle, which is still telling you that it's going to be a problem. You're going to have to bring a korban. So you clearly see that mipi acherim, and outside of Beis Din, you have to go ahead and you bring a korban. And seemingly that would mean that for sure, mipi atzmo outside of Beis Din, you'll have to bring a korban, and for sure, everything inside Beis Din, you'll have to bring a korban. Let's see what the Gemara says. Says the Gemara, bifnei Beis Din v'shelo bifnei. So what did we say in our Mishnah? We said in our Mishnah that there's a machlokes Rabbi Meir and the Chachamim. Rabbi Meir says that mipi atzmo will be a problem even not in Beis Din. If I literally go and I swear, then it'll work outside of Beis Din and I'll be chayiv outside of Beis Din. Rabbi Meir says that mipi acherim, that'll only work in Beis Din, because mipi acherim is weaker than mipi atzmo. So again, Rabbi Meir says mipi atzmo works inside Beis Din and outside Beis Din, and mipi acherim is only in Beis Din. The Chachamim say that even mipi atzmo will only work inside of Beis Din. So that's what they're arguing about. They both agree that mipi acherim will not work outside of Beis Din. The question is, mipi atzmo, will mipi atzmo work outside of Beis Din or not? Rabbi Meir says that mipi atzmo will work outside of Beis Din, and the Chachamim say mipi atzmo will not work outside of Beis Din. What's this based on? B'mai kamifligi, what are they arguing about? Amruhu rabbanan kamei de Rav Papa. Bidon mina umina, bidon mina ve'oki be'asra kamifligi. Let me read it inside, then I'll explain it outside. Let me explain it outside, and then I'll read it inside. Where do we know? I just told you, you have to look over here. There's the only way, I don't have a board here. But we said you have the case of Shvuas Ha'edus. There's another case of Shvuas HaPikadon. Shvuas Ha'edus, again, is when you take a shvuah that you deny knowing testimony. Shvuas Pikadon is when I deny having something that actually belongs to you. You claim that I was watching something for you. I claim that I don't have it. By Shvuas Ha'edus, the Torah tells us that the chiyuv for the korban when you lie is mipi acherim, and what? Outside of Beis Din. By Shvuas Pikadon, the chiyuv for lying, it says in the Torah, is mipi atzmo, and only in Beis Din. I'm sorry, mipi atzmo, and inside Beis Din and outside Beis Din. Again, I made a mistake. The shvuah by Shvuas Ha'edus Yerchayav, it talks about mipi acherim, and it talks about specifically in Beis Din. Mipi acherim in Beis Din. Mipi acherim in Beis Din. By Shvuas Pikadon, it talks about mipi atzmo, in Beis Din and even out of Beis Din. Again, mipi acherim specifically in Beis Din, mipi atzmo even out of Beis Din. Now, there's a Gzerat Shava where it says the word tachata by both. There's a question in Shas in general, and again, when you want to get the klalim, this is one klal you want to get. There's a klal of don mina umina versus don mina ve'oki be'asra. That means, if I'm going to learn from A to B, I can either learn one detail from A, apply it to B, but then all the other details I get from B. Or I can learn a detail from A and not only bring over that detail, bring over all of the details from A. For example, if over here by Shvuas Ha'edus it tells me that you're chayav mipi acherim, right, which is a chiddush, and it has to be specifically in Beis Din, so I have a choice. I could either be don mina ve'oki baso, I could dafka take that mipi acherim part and apply it to Shvuas HaPikadon, which by Shvuas HaPikadon it only tells me that you're chayav if you swear mipi atzmo, bein bifnei Beis Din, bein shelo bifnei Beis Din. But it doesn't tell me anything about swearing mipi acherim. If I just had the Torah, then I would assume that in the case of Pikadon, if it's mipi acherim, if somebody else preempts me and prompts me in that shvuah, I will not be chayav by Shvuas Pikadon, because it just says in the Torah, it just says mipi atzmo. So I could either learn mipi acherim and bring it over to Pikadon, which now I'll have mipi atzmo and mipi acherim, but I won't have the dafka outside of Beis Din. If I just bring over mipi acherim, then just like mipi atzmo over here is even outside of Beis Din, then the mipi acherim will be outside of Beis Din as well. Or I could bring over the mipi acherim over here, and I could also bring over only in Beis Din over here. And then what I'll have is I'll have mipi atzmo in Beis Din and out of Beis Din, and mipi acherim only in Beis Din. That's don mina umina. Bring everything over. So again, it's complicated, but just to clarify again, it says mipi acherim over here, and specifically in Beis Din. That's the only time you're going to be chayav for mipi acherim. Mipi acherim and in Beis Din. Over here it's mipi atzmo and even outside of Beis Din. If I bring over only mipi acherim, then now mipi acherim is like mipi atzmo, and it's bein bebeis din, bein outside Beis Din. That's going to be the most machmir. That means you're going to be chayiv no matter what, anywhere you take a shvuah. If I bring over mipi acherim, and I bring over only in Beis Din, then I have mipi acherim only in Beis Din, and mipi atzmo inside Beis Din and outside Beis Din. Again, what did we say over here? So let's see what we say. Bidomina mina bidomina va'oki be'asra kamifligi. Well, that's going to pikadon. Now let's look at it the other way, learning from pikadon to here. What does pikadon tell us? Because that's really what we're trying to learn. To the case of shuas edus. Pikadon tells us mipi atzmo, bain in Beis Din, bain not in Beis Din. What do we have by shuas edus? Mipi acherim, only in Beis Din. If I bring over mipi atzmo, then what do I have here? I have mipi atzmo. If I only bring over mipi atzmo, I have mipi atzmo, umipi acherim, only in Beis Din. Who's that opinion? That's the opinion of the Chachamim. Only in Beis Din. That's don mina va'oki be'asra. Go ahead and take the one detail and set it up over here and don't take any of the other details. So we have mipi acherim only in Beis Din. If you just take the mipi atzmo from the shuas pikadon because of the gzerat shava, then now by the case of shuas ha'edus, I have mipi acherim and mipi atzmo, but only in Beis Din. That's don mina va'oki be'asra. Leave everything else there. Only bring that. If I say don mina umina, then I have acherim only in Beis Din, but then I bring over mipi atzmo and Bain bifnei Beis Din, bain shelo bifnei Beis Din. Now we're not going to apply that bain bifnei Beis Din, bain shelo bifnei Beis Din to the acherim, to the mipi acherim. I already have only in Beis Din. But then I'll end up bringing over mipi atzmo, bain bifnei Beis Din, bain shelo bifnei Beis Din. So it'll end up that if I say don mina umina, I bring everything over. Then I bring over the mipi atzmo. I bring over inside Beis Din and outside Beis Din for mipi atzmo. When it comes out, what's the result? Mipi atzmo in Beis Din and outside Beis Din. Mipi acherim dafka in Beis Din. Who's that? That's the opinion of Rabbi Meir. That's don mina umina. That's what the Gemara says. Now let's read it inside. B'mai kamiflagi amruhu rabbanan kamei de Rav Papa bidon mina bidon mina va'oki ba'asra kamiflagi. Rabbi Meir savar don mina umina mi pikadon. Bring everything over. Ma pikadon mushba mi piatzmo chayav af edus mushba mi piatzmo chayav. Bring over the mi piatzmo, and also umina. Bring over ma pikadon bein bifnei Beis Din bein shelo bifnei Beis Din af edus bein bebeis din ubein shelo bebeis din. Bring over the mi piatzmo and bring over whether it's outside of court or inside of court, and therefore you'll end up like Rabbi Meir says that you have mi piatzmo both in court and outside of court, and you have over here mi piacherim only in court. V'Rabbanan Savri don't mina ve'oki be'asra. Only bring over the mipiatzmo part. Ma pikadon mushma mipiatzmo chayav. Af edus mushma mipiatzmo chayav. Ve'oki be'asra. Just leave it in its place. That what? Ma mushma mipiacherim bebeis din in shalo bebeis din lo. Just like the acherim which is already here is only in Beis Din. So too af mushma mipiatzmo bebeis din in shalo befnei Beis Din lo. That's what we spent the last 12 minutes on, which is always frustrating. We're about to reject it. So we just spent 12 minutes basically saying, what do you do again? Rabbi Meir says, I want to get this clear, because this is a klal in Shas. Rabbi Meir says that you go ahead and mipi atzmo will be in Beis Din and even outside Beis Din. He's more machmir, right? Rabbi Meir is more machmir because he's going to say you're going to be chayiv in more cases. So mipi atzmo is bain bifnei Beis Din, bain shelo bifnei Beis Din, and mipi acherim is only in Beis Din. What's that? That's bringing mipi atzmo, and that's bringing bain bifnei Beis Din, bain shelo bifnei Beis Din. That's don mina umina. The other opinion, Chachamim would say that it's mipi acherim only in Beis Din, and also mipi atzmo only in Beis Din. They're bringing only the mipi atzmo part, applying it to this case and saying it's mipi atzmo, but we're going to keep the laws over here, just like mipi acherim is only in Beis Din, mipi atzmo will only be in Beis Din as well. That's the don mina ve'oki bas. And again, what does that mean only in Beis Din? That means, again, if I swear that I don't know any information about this case, only if I swear in Beis Din falsely will I be chayiv the korban. Or only if you prompt me in Beis Din will I be chayiv the korban ola v'yored. Amalu Rav Papa, good try. Imi pikadon gami la rabbanon dekuli amalo pligi de don mina mina. Good try. The problem is that the rabbis, everybody agrees that we do don mina umina. There is no such thing as don mina va'oki be'asra. Now, again, we don't hold like that. We know that there actually is, but according to Rav Papa, there's no such thing as don mina va'oki be'asra. Therefore, it's impossible to say that the rabbanon would only take mipiatzmo and leave outside and inside Beis Din. You can't have both. So now we have a little bit of a problem, because if you can't bring it over, only mipiatzmo, so then why in fact is it that according to the Rabbanan, you're going to be chayav for mipiatzmo in this case, because all we know in the Torah is that mipiach in shuas edus is mipiacherim mipiacherim and specifically in Beis Din. So if you're not taking mipiatzmo, if you have to take the whole thing over, you have to take over mipiatzmo, but you have to take over in Beis Din and outside Beis Din. So why does the Rabbanan hold over here that mipiatzmo is only going to apply in Beis Din as well? So the Gemara says a kal vachomer. You're right. Forget about everything we said. Keep pikadon to itself. Don't make the gzera shava, and just make a kal vachomer from shuas ha'edus itself. Why? What does the Torah tell us? It tells us that by shuas ha'edus you're chayav mipiacherim only in Beis Din. If I know you're chayav mipiacherim, what do I have a kal vachomer? If I'm going to tell you that you're chayav mipiacherim, kal vachomer mipiatzmo. If I'm chayav, when you go ahead and prompt me for the shvua, and you say, Mushba, swear to me that you don't know anything, and I say, I don't know anything, and that's considered to be a swear, kal vachomer, when I come with my own mouth and say, I swear that I don't know anything, for sure that's going to be. So it's not that we bring over anything from Pikadon. We say that we know from Acherim, specifically in Beis Din, kal vachomer mipiatzmo. But now when I make a kal vachomer, what's the din by a kal vachomer? When I make a kal vachomer from something, what's the din? Kal vachomer, we say that when you make a kal vachomer, the kal vachomer cannot be more strict than the thing you're learning from. So if mipiacherim, I understand, you all agree that we can make a kal vachomer from mipiacherim to mipiatzmo. If I'm chayiv mipiacherim, for sure I'm chayiv mipiatzmo. But if mipiacherim, I'm only chayiv in Beis Din, and I'm making the kal vachomer to mipiatzmo, which it doesn't say in the Torah, for sure it can only be in Beis Din as well. That's what the Gemara says, and that's why the Rabbanan hold that mipiatzmo will only be in Beis Din as well. Says the Gemara, Elahainu taimid Rabbanan demaisula bekal vachomer uma mipiacherim chayiv mipiatzmo lo kol shekain udemaisula umidemaisula mikal vachomer dayolavo minadin lios kenidon ma mushma mipiacherim Beis Din in shelo bifnei Beis Din lo af mushma mipiatzmo Beis Din in shelo bifnei Beis Din lo. That's what the Gemara says. Amru le Rabbanan le Rapapa mi matzis amras delav bedon mino pligi. What are you talking about though? I'll bring you a proof, says the Rabbanan. We clearly see that the Rabbanan do hold domina v'oki ba'asra. How do we see it? Going the other way. Going from Shuas Ha'edus to Pikadon. Because where do you see it? Look what the Mishnah says. V'atnan gabe Pikadon Shuas HaPikadon u'heges ba'nashim u'v'nashim b'rechogin u'v'krovim b'ksherin u'v'psulin. What does it say again? Think this through. What does it say by Shuas HaPikadon? What did I tell you it says by Shuas HaPikadon? Bifnei atzmo, Bein Bifnei Beis Din and Bein Shelo Bifnei Beis Din. Can you make a kal vachomer from Bifnei Atzmo to Bifnei Acherim? I can't make a kal vachomer. Just because the Torah makes me chayav when I take a shua with my own mouth, there's no kal vachomer to say that I'll be chayav when I take a shua mipi Acherim. So comes along Rabbi Meir and says what? Bifnei Beis Din v'Shelo Bifnei Beis Din mipi Atzmo, like the Torah there says. By mipi Atzmo you're going to be chayav Bein Bifnei Beis Din, Bein Shelo Bifnei Beis Din. Umipi Acherim eino chayav at sheyichbor bo bebeis Din divrei Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says that by a shuas pikadon, you're going to be chayav outside of Beis Din mipiacherim. You'll be chayav mipiacherim, but only in Beis Din. Well, why are you chayav for mipiacherim in the case of shuas pikadon? The Torah tells me by shuas pikadon you're only chayav mipiatzmo. You're only chayav mipiatzmo. Bein bifnei Beis Din, bein shelo bifnei Beis Din. Why are you chayav mipiacherim? Where do they get that from? They learn it from a gzera shava. You can't make a kal vachomer in that case. The Rabbanan, we can argue, make a kal vachomer in this case. There's no kal vachomer to be made in the case of shuas pikadon. All it says in the Torah is that you're chayav by shuas pikadon. If I swear that I do not have your object, I'm chayav in that case. Mipi says the Torah, mipi atzmo. If I swear with my own mouth, bein in front of Beis Din, bein shelo bifnei Beis Din. How do I know that I'm chayav if I swear based on your prompting me to swear? How do I know in that case when you say swear to me that you don't have my pikadon, and I say I don't have your pikadon? How do we know that that counts as if I said, I swear that I don't have your pikadon? Where do we know that from? We know that from Shuas Ha'edus. Because we make the Gzeirat Shav and we say, just like over here, Mipiacherim is going to go ahead and is going to be a problem, so too over here, Mipiacherim is going to be a problem. Well, now the question becomes, how much do we bring over? That's the machlokes over here. Because Rabbi Meir says, what do? You bring over Mipiacherim, but you don't go ahead, you bring over everything. You bring over Mipiacherim, and you bring over Mipiacherim only in Beis Din. That's don mina. But the Chachamim say, Bein mipiatzmo, bein mipiacherim, kevan shekafar b'chayav. The Chachamim say, you bring over mipiacherim here, but what? It needs to be bein mipiatzmo, bein mipiacherim, kevan shekafar b'chayav. You're chayav even outside of Beis Din. That's what the Chachamim say. Therefore, what do you see? Mushim piacherim bikono mina lulu rabbanan dechayev lav digmir lamei edus ushma mina bedomina mina pligi mehahiyin meha leka lamash mina. What is the Gemara here saying? The Gemara is saying as follows. The Gemara is now saying that acherim you're only chayev in Beis Din. Again, over here it's the opposite because over here the rabbanan are being more machmir. In the case we said before, the chachamim were the ones who are saying you're only chayev in Beis Din. Over here, the Rabbanan are saying you're chayav bein bifnei beis and bein shelo bifnei zin. So again, what's happening over here? In the case of shuas hapikadon, the Torah tells us mi piatzmo in Beis Din and outside Beis Din. Comes along Rabbi Meir and says mi piacherim applies here also, but only in Beis Din. What's he learning? He's clearly learning don mina umina. Bring over the acherim and bring over only outside of Beis Din. The qualification, excellent. Rabbanan say you're chayev in this case, even though the Torah says mi piatzmo in Beis Din and outside Beis Din, we're going to add mi piacherim in Beis Din and outside Beis Din. What do we see? Don mina, take the mi piacherim part, but don't take the only in Beis Din part. Leave the only in Beis Din part there and apply the mi piacherim to the same qualifications as mi piatzmo, which is in Beis Din and outside Beis Din. So sure, when you're going from edus to pikadon, for sure there's a machlokes. So how can you say, Rav Papa, that there's no machlokes, don mina versus don mina v'oki ba'asra? Says Rav Papa, I never said that. All I'm saying is that you can't prove anything. This is the key. You can't prove that there's a machlokes going this way. You can only prove that there's a machlokes going this way. That means when you're learning from edus to pikadon, I agree with you. There's definitely a machlokes between Rabbi Meir and the Chachamim. Rabbi Meir holds don mina v'oki ba'asra. Just take the mipi acherim and then apply the same laws of mipi atzmo. Rabbi Meir holds don mina, bring over mipi acherim and bring over only in Beis Din. That I agree. When you're going this way, for sure you can prove that the machlokas is don mina versus don mina v'oki basra. But when you're going this way, learning from pikadon to edus, there you can't prove anything. Why? It might be that they argue about don mina versus don mina v'oki basra, but what else could it be? It could be that the Rabbanan learned from Kal V'chomer. Again, what does that have to do with us? Good question. This is just, again, for us, it means that we're learning this idea of domina mina versus domina v'oki basa. What's the practical nafkamina? There is no practical nafkamina right now. But the point is that when you're learning this way, everybody agrees that it's a machlokes domina versus domina v'oki basa. When you're learning this way, it's a question of, it might be a machlokes domina versus domina v'oki basa, but it might also just be a simple thing where it has nothing to do with pikadon, and it just has to do with the Kal V'chomer. Okay. Not easy, but we got through it. Now, let's continue. We said, we've done it in a few minutes, we're going to stop at the Gemara, and we're going to stop at the Gemara on the bottom. We said in the Mishnah that by Shvuas HaEdus over here, we know that in general, when you swear falsely, you're only going to be chayiv a korban. We look at a korban as being like a privilege, because it gives you a kapara. You're only going to be chayiv a korban if there was some aspect of shogeg involved. We know that if you know that you're about to swear falsely, and you know that there's a chiyuv korban involved, and you still swear falsely, in general, you don't bring a korban. You don't have the right, you don't have the way out, quote unquote, by bringing a korban and getting a kapara. As opposed to over here, which is an exception, where by Shuas HaEdus, we clearly said that even if you know that you know testimony, and even if you know that by swearing that you don't know testimony, you're going to be chayav a korban, nevertheless, in that case, the exception here is, you'll still be able to bring the korban olav yored. Why? Because it doesn't say the word v'ne'elam here. It doesn't say anything about forgetting, and therefore it implies even if you never forgot, even if there was no forgetting involved, even if the entire thing was mazed from start to finish, you'll still be able to go ahead and bring a korban olav yored, specifically in this case of Shuas HaEdus. That's what the Gemara says, and be able to get the kapara. Says the Gemara, that's chayavin al zadon ashua. You'll be chayav, quote unquote, you'll be able to bring a korban olav yored, even if it was totally zadon, totally mazed through and through. Minan imili, how do you know this? The Tana Rabbanan bikula nemar behen v'nelam. By all other cases of korban olav yored, it says the word v'nelam. There needs to be some aspect of forgetting involved, and if you were totally bemazed, you don't have the right or ability to bring a korban olav yored. V'kan lo nemar ba v'nelam l'chayav ala mezek keshogeg. Here, it doesn't say the word v'nelam. Therefore, you're chayav even if you are just bemazed. Now, one can look at it like you get a kapara. One can also look at it like it's a stricter thing, where you mamish have to bring a korban, even though it was totally bemazed. Says the Gemara, Val shigigasim zadonezah. So what's an example of a case where you're going to be chayiv here, where there's shogeg involved? So again, mazed is when you know that what you're doing is wrong, and you know that it's going to be a problem, you're going to have to bring a korban. What's shogeg? Well, shogeg could be one of two things. Either you don't know, you don't remember that you knew the testimony, Well, seemingly the Gemara is learning here, you know that you know the testimony, but you don't know that there's a korban involved if you lied. The korban would have kept you away from lying. Over there, you still bring the korban. Says the Gemara, I know that I know the testimony and I'm not allowed to take the shvuah. I don't know if I'm going to have to bring a korban or not. Nevertheless, again, in that case, you'll still bring a korban. Where do you not bring a korban? You don't bring a korban in this case. That means if you know that you know testimony and it's usher to lie and you have to bring a korban, you still bring a korban. If you know that you know testimony and you're lying but you don't know about the korban, you have to bring a korban. If you forget that you know the testimony, then you don't have to bring a korban. It means if you truthfully, at the time that you said, I swear that I don't know any testimony, if you truthfully thought that you don't know any testimony, then in that case you don't have to bring a korban. Why? What's that based on? Says the Gemara, it's because you're honest, basically. So it says the Gemara over here, Lo, Avagav ditznan itzterich. Sagad chamina hachahu delok sivanelam debein and shogeg dumya demezid avalasam dichtibanelam afilu shigatsa koldehu kamash malan. This brings us back to a case on 26a, Chavav Amud Aleph. There was a machlokes, there was a question as to what Rav had said in the shir. There were two guys listening, but they were both dozing off a little bit. So two guys weren't clear as to what Rav said in the shir. After the shir, they were schmoozing with each other, and he says, Rav said this. The other guy said, Rav said that. And for whatever reason, they went ahead and they swore. Both of them swore that Rav said this, and the other one said Rav said that. Now, what did they have to do? All they had to do was go over to Rav and ask him what he said. Rav goes in and he says, I said this. So you were wrong. You swore falsely. Rav says, but since you didn't know, you honestly thought that I said that in the shir, you don't have to go ahead and bring a korban. So Gemara wants to say we have a proof from here. Where did Rav get this from? Because you see clearly over here that if I sincerely thought that I didn't know any testimony and I happen to have known it, but I sincerely thought that I didn't know anything, I don't bring a korban. So too, that's where Rav got it. It's a proof for Rav where when you sincerely thought that's what I said in shir, you don't have to bring. Says the Gemara, you can't prove anything from here. Yes, that's what Rav said, but you can't prove from here. Why? Because maybe in this case, where it doesn't mention the word v'nelam, it doesn't mention anything about forgetting, one can claim that what? Where I sincerely thought that I did the right thing, then I don't have to bring a korban. But maybe over there where it talks about forgetting, even if you sincerely thought at the end of the day, you misunderstood, there was some aspect of shogeg involved, l'maiseh, you'll have to bring a korban. Says the Gemara, Kabash Malan, Rav is teaching us that you do not have to bring a korban. But you can't compare the two cases. That's the Gemara's point. This case of Shuas Eidos is very unique. Since it doesn't say the word v'nelam, it's very different than any of the other shuas. Since there's no aspect of shogeg involved, then since it doesn't say the word v'nelam, you're going to be chayiv even if you're mazed through and through, and you're going to be pater if you're mistakenly thought that you don't remember any of the testimony. As opposed to other cases where it says the word v'nelam, now all of a sudden you're bringing a whole other aspect where if you're bemazed through and through, you're not going to be able to bring a korban. And one might have thought that if you're totally honest, then you will have to bring a korban. Comes along Rav and says, in that specific case, at least, if you literally and truthfully thought that that's what I said, you don't have to bring a korban. Let's just read the Mishnah and we'll conclude with the Mishnah. This is just chazering a few things and adding a few extra cases. Shvuas ha'edus keitzad. And again, the Mishnah is going to explain the case of Shvuas ha'edus mipiatzma. What did I say? That's an example. There's two possibilities. Either I come along and I say, I swear that I don't know any testimony, and that's mi piatzmo, or you say to me, Rabbi, I swear that you don't know any testimony, and I say, Amen. Those are the two cases of mi piatzmo. Piacherim is when you say, swear to me you don't know anything, and I say, I don't know anything. Says me, so this is giving the example of mi piatzmo. Shvua se'edus keitzad amar l'shnayim bo v'heyuduni shvua she'inanu yodin l'cha'edus, that's mi piatzmo. I swear I don't know anything. O she'amar lo, you said to us, einanu yodin l'cha'edus mashbi ani aleichem, you said to me, swear to me, v'amar amen, and I said amen, harei elu chayavin. Now it's just adding a few extra cases. Hishbia aleihem chamesh pa'amim chutz lebeizin. It's not clear if this is within Rabbi Meir, the Rabbanan, but that's the Rishonim discuss. If you're mashbia me 5 times outside of Beizin, and each time I said, I don't know anything, 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 outside of Beizin, because everybody agrees again that acherim, that mipi acherim, which is what this is, outside of Beizin will not work. But now what happens? I deny 5 times, or I swear 5 times outside of Beizin, which is basically worthless. Ubo lebeizin v'hodu. Then I come to Beizin and I admit knowing testimony, paturin, because what I did outside of Beizin doesn't matter. However, kafru, if I insist when I come into Beizin, I insist that I don't know anything. So now I'm literally lying in Beis Din. Chayavin al kol achas v'achas. I retroactively become chayav for those 5 things. If I just denied it outside of Beis Din and I swear outside Beis Din, nothing happens. But once I deny and swear in Beis Din once, all 5 of the ones that I did outside of Beis Din retroactively will be considered to be shuas as well.
Just deny.
It sounds like I just have to deny in Beis Din. All the 5 things that I quote unquote swear outside Beis Din will take effect, and therefore I'll have to bring 5 korbanos. Hishbiya alein hey pa'amim bifnei Beis Din v'kafru. But if I swear 5 times in Beis Din, einen chayavin ela achas. I'm only chayav once. It's fascinating. So if I swear 5 times outside of Beis Din, I'm not chayav because again, mi piacherim outside Beis Din doesn't do anything. If I swear 5 times outside of Beis Din, mi piatzmo, unclear. But mi piacherim 5 times outside of Beis Din, and then I come to Beis Din, I admit that I know testimony, nothing happened when I was outside Beis Din. 5 times outside of Beis Din, I swore, then I come to Beis Din and I'm kofar and I say I don't know anything, and I insist in Beis Din, what happens? All 5 of those times I'm chayav for. But if I come to Beis Din originally, I don't do anything outside Beis Din, and in Beis Din I swear 5 times that I don't know anything, I'm only going to be chayav once. Why? Amar Rabbi Shimon Matam, hoel ve'enam yecholim lachzor lahodos. Because what happens, at the time that I swear in Beis Din the first time, and I become chayav a korban, once you swear something falsely, that's it. I'm pasul, I'm done. So the first swear that I make, I'm pasul, I'm done, I'm chayav a korban. The additional 4 swears are basically worthless because I'm already pasul, I'm already done. But when I swore 5 times outside Beis Din, which weren't able to take effect, as soon as I'm kofar in Beis Din, all 5 of those take effect at one moment. They could all take effect at one moment, and I'll be chayav 5 korbanos. But when I swear 5 times in Beis Din, once I swear the first one, that one takes effect, and the 4 that come afterwards will not take effect. That's the difference. Finally, kafru shnein ke'echad shnein chayavin. If you have 2 people who are kofar one swear, that means you approach 2 different people at once, and you say, swear to me that you don't know anything about this case, and we both swear at the same time, then we're both going to be chayav. Bezeh charzeh, but if we swear one after another, harishon chayav hasheni pater. The first one's chayiv and the second one's pater. Why am I pater if I swear falsely after you did? Because we need 2 edim in order to be able to go ahead and make this case worthwhile to be tried in court. Once you swore falsely and you were found to be swearing falsely, my testimony, even though I'm also swearing falsely, my testimony as an eid echad is worthless, and therefore my swear as an eid echad will not be punished as well. Kafar echad v'hod echad. If one is kofar and one admits, ha-kofar chayiv. Obviously, the one who's kofar to not knowing the testimony will be chayiv. Ha-yushtei kite edim. But if there are 2 sets of edim, kafra harishon v'aka kafra shniya shtein chayavos mnei sha'idu shechol yiskayim b'shtein. Even though when there's 1, 2 of them, and the first guy's lying, and then the second guy lies, the second guy won't be punished logistically because, again, once he's coming as an eid echad, it's worthless. But if you have 2 groups, even though the first group were thrown out, and they're chayav a korban, when the second group lies, they're 2 new people whose eidos theoretically could have been believed. Therefore, when they lie, they'll also be chayav a korban as well.